How are you getting on, folks? Look at, I suppose Fairy House the other day turned out to be fairly, I suppose, decent enough. We came away with small profit. It was more, I suppose, each way booms than winners, but um, we got two lovely each ways there. The elusive star, currently, I suppose, coming in at around 8 to 1, 15 to 2, and as well as that, we had a lovely drifter as well. Solar Heat drifted out to 40 to 1, came in third. Overall, look, it was a very, very good day. As well as that, we had the next best coming in. The nap of the day was just very, very unlucky. Just got to the front too soon, and I suppose just idled a little bit in front. It looked like, I suppose, a clear cut winner all the way around, but it just, I suppose, died off, and I suppose just a little bit unlucky. Moving on to Clonmel now tomorrow. I suppose, look at it. It's a mediocre enough card, but there is some superstars coming here tomorrow. Obviously, look at it. There is, I suppose, a couple of races here that are top class, and it should be a fairly decent day's race. And there's a few Cheltenham winners came out of this particular meeting last year, so hopefully it'll be the very same again. Now, first of all, the 12:30 race. I'm going to take a bit of a chance here now with Philip Rothwell's charge here now. Wolf of All Streets partnering with James O'Sullivan, taking £7 off. Look, it's a bit of a stab in the dark more so than anything else. We don't know what this horse is like over chasing fences. It was a very decent hurdler. It ran up to a mark of, I think, 116 or 126. So when you put it all into perspective, that matches him up fairly well with this Jigginstown favourite here tomorrow. Now look at the Jigginstown favourite is, I think, a course and distance winner, and it does have chasing experience under its belt, but it didn't necessarily blow me away on his chasing debut. It was a faller, I think 4 fences in. If that happens again tomorrow, or if he makes, I suppose, a few risky jumps tomorrow, it will cost him the race. Clonmel is very unforgiving in his chasing fences. I definitely think, look at Wolf of All Streets. He's the most likely one to take this particular favourite on, and the fact that there is a serious gamble going on it already. I think he started off this evening at, I think, 8 to 1. He's been backed into 9 to 2 now, and I suppose if the gamble keeps going, that's definitely an interesting enough, I suppose, horse to take into tomorrow. If it ends up running to expectation, it should be very hard to stop, and I would be expecting a very, very good performance out of it. Next race then, the 1 o'clock. We are actually not going to be taking this particular race on, for the simple fact that we have, well, myself, Dean Hegarty and Ryan Sharkey from Racing Records, we've started up our own Patreon account, that went live there today. It is currently going off 100% strike rate. Every horse that we put up there today ended up winning, so that's obviously, look at a massive bonus for us. It gives us plenty to scream and shout about. But I suppose with respect to that, and respect to the people that are contributing to us, we are going to, I suppose, leave this particular race out. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go and check it out. Next race then, the 1:30. We are going to go with an each way shout here now. Cool Arcade at 20 to 1 definitely looks to be a very interesting sort. Look at, I think the ownership is more famous for the very, very, very decent horse back in the day, Tom Cool Lad. I don't know actually where he is now. He could either be retired or sadly passed on. He was very old the last time he was racing. I think he was racing up to 15 or 16 if I'm not mistaken. But Tom Cool Lad was a very, very decent sort of a horse, and the last day we seen a particular, I suppose, flash in the pan of what I suppose used to be for this particular ownership. Came forward last day to Classy K, who is running in this particular meeting now tomorrow as well. We'll get to that particular mare now in a few minutes, but look at it, was fourth, I think it was 50 to 1 that particular day. I'm not 100% sure, but I suppose, look at it, it's clear as day that he is running fairly credibly, and he is running to a fair standard. The favourite in here definitely looks to be the most likely winner. I think overall the competition below it doesn't necessarily seem to be as strong, but I think this Cool Arcade could surprise a few, and it was running a very, very big race last day in Fairyhouse in heavy ground. I definitely think it's going to be well suited to these conditions tomorrow and should be able to put up a very, very decent performance. And 20 to 1 for an each way shout definitely wouldn't be the worst in the world. Next race then, we're going to go with the free next best of the day. We are going to go with Classy K here at 5 to 4. Like I said earlier on, that particular race in Fairyhouse definitely looks to be, I suppose, they're hopefully get a few winners out of that particular race. Hopefully the two that I've mentioned already there today. But look at Classic K. She's gone up £15 for her last run. That's definitely a bit of a hindrance, but she's not really meeting anything of any real standard tomorrow. Now that's going with all due respect, but she ran going away last time out in Fairyhouse. She put the I suppose the sword to the mast, and she quickly put it to bed in a matter of a few strides. She didn't get a necessarily hard race tomorrow. Now she does need to improve, considering she is going up £15. But I definitely think that the improvement is in her. I think she could be very well handicapped, like she was today in Fairyhouse, and she should be very, very hard to stop. And I think 5 to 4, she is drifting out. So with every, I suppose, point she is drifting out, she is getting a better value. I definitely think she should be one of the ones to be in the top 1 or top 2 anyway, at least. Next race then, the 2:30, we're going to go to Napa today. Burrow Saint here coming in off a mark of 150. Surely it's definitely too good for most of this field. Look at Irish Grand National winner. It's definitely got plenty of things going for it. It was a winner, and I think it's seasonal debut last year over hurdles. Partnered with Rachel Blackmore that particular day. Paul Townend takes the ride now tomorrow. The fact that there is, I suppose, 2 Willie Mullins horses in this particular race tomorrow, that it definitely shows, I suppose, that Burrow Saint is the top. I suppose the main string. Look at Scarpetta is definitely a big worry. It's a course and distance winner, and it's run very well fresh before. Is it good enough to beat Burrow Saint though? I don't think it is. The one danger in my opinion is Mary Francis, and myself and the lads in Racing Records were just talking about this. They targeted this particular race last year, coming in. Say it was meeting the storyteller in, I think, Rathvinden that particular day, but Mary Francis set off from the front. She was heavily gambled in that day. Now she was gambled in an awful lot before the night, and there's no real money coming for her, so that's the one thing that's turning me off her. As well as that, she has to find, I think, £17 to match Burrow Saint. I don't think that's possible, but look, at you never know. Martin Hassett, he's I think Martin Hassett trains her, but she definitely looks to be one that's definitely going to run a credible race. But Burrow Saint should be a very, very easy winner with all due respect. Next race then, another one for the patron. Now it's my nap of the day. I'm not going to, I suppose, spend too much time on it, but I've done plenty of research. This particular horse definitely looks to be one of the ones to, I suppose, get behind, and definitely well worth following, especially around Clonmel. I like I said, look, I'm going to leave a link in the description below to go to this particular site. It's what you call it. There is a small charge per month, but when you look at, I suppose, the competitors that we are coming up against, we are considerably cheaper than most of them, if not all of them. Now the next race then, the last race of the day, we are going to have a no bet in this race. Capadonna here at 1 to 2. For those who are looking into the Irish race an hour, you know that Steph Searle definitely or definitely likes the look of this particular horse. Coming from JP's, it cost I think 185,000 in the sales. They targeted this particular race with San Ra last year, but whatever happened San Ra that particular day, I don't know what happened. San Ra went off 1-3 that particular day. Capadonna started off or opened up at 8-13. He's now 1-2. I definitely think he is going to shorten even more. There is definitely good word about him. But overall, he is very short. I wouldn't be necessarily suggesting to go head over heels in this particular race, considering what happened last year. But Steph Searle definitely likes the look of him, and she definitely said to keep a close eye on this one. But I'm going to leave it there. Like I said already, Patreon is available for those who want to get behind us. Basically, what it is €10 per month. Now, what that gets you is well-researched tips and discussed and agreed among the three of us. We aim to put out as close to 100% strike rate on there as humanly possible. Now, I know there is going to be some days where we will have bad days, but for €10 a month, we are confident that we can, I suppose, make profit and get back the €10 you put into us and get plenty more along with it as well. As well as that, it's going to be there to, I suppose, fund the podcast. Like I said, we still are looking for sponsorships, but until we do, I don't think it's going to be very easy to get sponsorships in this climate. But until we do, Patreon is definitely going to be our main source of funding, basically. As well as that, we are going to be, say, looking into giving giveaways and different, I suppose, look at spot prize raffles, different things like that. And I suppose the more people that get behind us, the more it allows us to grow, and hopefully one day we will be able to, I suppose, set up our own racing club. Now there's no point talking about that just yet because it's still a long way away. We're only, I think, 2 days into it, but yeah, that's the overall plan, and that's what we're aiming to achieve. But I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. I leave a link to the Patreon down below, so you can, for those who want to go to it, they can. And as well as that, please make sure to not just like, share, and subscribe this particular page, but head over to the Irish Racing Hour. You'll see the podcast there with Steph Searle. And make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing to that page too, to make sure you don't miss out. I'm going to leave it there. I've been Shane Rooney. Thanks very much, and best of luck tomorrow.